Children, of course, at that time should have been at the heart of decisions that the government was making when it came to COVID and it came to the restrictions in schools and how children should be taught. Do you think children were at the heart of these discussions?
Well, I'm sad to say I don't think so. I'm the former Children's Commissioner. I was Children's Commissioner during that period of time, and I spent an awful lot of time putting forward the kind of policies that needed to be thought about if children were going to get the support they needed during this, very, very uncertain time for them. Let's remember children were out of school for about 6 months, most children. We know that since then, levels of anxiety and mental health has plummeted. So children are living with the impact of what happened during that time right now, today. But it's very clear to me that children weren't given the priority they should have been. There wasn't enough discussion about the impact of decisions on children's well-being. And as a consequence, it feels that they were quite overlooked often in terms of the big decisions that were made.
And when you look at the actual decisions that were made, are you confident that science was used as the basis for decisions, or now looking at this, does it appear that politics was what was driving a lot of it?
Yes, well, it does quite appear that, there's a heavy dose of political expediency here. Look, the first shock was when schools didn't open in June of the year and pubs, shops, theme parks and zoos did. That was a clear indication that children's well-being wasn't at the top of the agenda. It went on in terms of various decisions over masks, over the rule of 6, how many people could meet together, which was hopeless for large families. It meant that many children couldn't see their friends or their grandparents for many, many months. But in Scotland, they thought of that and they allowed children under 12 to not be counted for that rule of 6. Sometimes it was as simple as that. And of course, we saw closures of schools, reopening closures, all on a carousel of decisions, which do seem to have really played into political decisions at that time, rather than a constant national effort towards children.
Do you think children were let down?
I think they were let down. I think they were often forgotten, sometimes overlooked. If there's an emergency of this nature in our country, a national threat, we should all think it's the right thing to put children and young people at the heart of our consideration. They're the ones that need the greatest protection, and they're the ones who are likely to have the greatest impact in the future. And I don't think in this country we did that. I don't think we took the decisions that some other countries did to offer that support and reassurance to children.
Why do you think that was? Why do you think we differed so much?
I do think that it comes down to how much of a political priority children are for a country. There are some countries that define themselves about what they can offer to children. And whilst there are many good things, of course, that we offer children and government intervenes with in this country, there isn't the sense that actually children are at the forefront. There isn't the understanding always of what those needs are. And there isn't that voice at the cabinet table often that's saying, what are we going to do for children here, that's strong enough to actually get the backing of the top.
I wonder if you think, looking at the messages between Mr Hancock and Gavin Williamson, cracking announcement today, what a bunch of absolute arses the teaching unions are. I know they really, really do just hate work. I mean, it's juvenile, it's unprofessional, stereotyping of teachers. Do you think anything has changed since then?
In terms of opinion towards the sector? I mean, I would hope so. And there's been lots of reassurances today that actually, we do understand and people do understand the importance and the important role of teachers, which of course they should. But I think it gives an indication of how quickly children's issues and the well-being of young people can be swept aside. Some of it, as you say, in terms of juvenile messages there. But at the heart of this, do we really understand what it takes to give children the best possible start in life that's needed? And do we as a country think that's one of our top 5 priorities? I don't think we're there yet.
And just to be clear, do you think either Gavin Williamson or Matt Hancock were there at the time for children?
Oh, no, I don't. I think you can see that from the messages. Clearly, Gavin Williamson is saying that he wanted to keep schools open. But I think what this needs is a national effort. We didn't see that national effort, and we aren't seeing those in those WhatsApp messages today.
OK, Anne Longfield, the former Children's Commissioner for England. Very good to talk to you today. Thanks a lot for joining us.